All right, let's dive in. Today, we're tackling a massive question. How should education, actually respond to the incredible rise of artificial intelligence? It's a huge challenge for sure, but it's also a pretty big opportunity. Let's just start with a number that'll kind of stop you in your tracks. As of December 2024, a staggering 92% of British undergraduates said they use AI tools. This isn't some far-off future trend. It is the reality on the ground, right now. And this quote from Ian Bogost just nails it. For students, AI is not some fringe tool for cheating anymore. It is a deeply embedded habit. And that's created this kind of shadowy zone of mistrust between students and their schools, which is a real problem for everyone.
So this tension has kicked off what a lot of people are calling an AI arms race in education. And it's this central conflict that's really starting to chew away at the foundation of trust that all learning is supposed to be built on.
And this right here, this visualizes that conflict perfectly. You've got students on one side just trying to get their assignments done using the tools available, and then on the other side you have institutions totally focused on surveillance and detection. It's become this race to the bottom where, let's be honest, everyone ends up losing.
So before we can even think about finding a way out of this arms race, we have to take a step back and ask a really basic question. Why do we ask students to write essays or do projects in the first place? What's the point? And the answer is so crucial. It's this. The effortful, sometimes messy, frustrating process of creating something is way more important for actual learning than the final polished product. That struggle, that's where the growth actually happens. This really gets to the heart of the danger. The author Nicholas Carr put it perfectly. When you outsource the hard work of learning to a machine, you completely undermine the entire point of education. You just can't automate genuine understanding. Okay, so the focus has to shift. Education has got to start prioritizing these irreplaceable human skills like metacognition, which is basically the ability to think about your own thinking process. It's the skill that lets us adapt, learn on our own, and navigate a world that's getting more complex by the day.
So, what's the path forward? How do we fix this? Well, it starts with moving away from this cat-and-mouse game of policing students and moving toward a much smarter way of teaching for the AI age.
The very first step is to completely reframe how we assess learning. The key question can't just be, what do you know anymore? Because an AI can answer that in a split second. The new, much more important question is, how do you think? That's what reveals the uniquely human process behind the work.
And here's a pretty practical playbook for how to do it. First, you make AI use visible and reflective. Ask students to show you their work, show their prompts, explain their choices. Second, redesign the assignments themselves to focus on things only humans can do well, like making ethical judgments. And third, and this is a big one, bring students into the conversation to co-design the new rules of the road for using these tools.
Because look, the ultimate goal here isn't just about coping with AI or surviving it. It's about actually using it as a catalyst to elevate our own intellect and to raise the cognitive bar for absolutely everyone. Now get this. In a recent experiment, researchers put AI bots into a debate forum on Reddit. It turns out that humans only managed to change someone's mind about 3% of the time. The AI bots? They had a success rate of 18%. That is 6 times more effective. And that brings up a really fascinating question. Was this manipulation? Or, as some people have argued, was it actually an act of elevation? I mean, the bots didn't lie or use disinformation. They just made better, more rational, more persuasive arguments. A really great way to think about this is the world of chess. When superhuman AI came along, people thought it would kill the game, but it didn't. Instead, it became this incredible sparring partner. It helps the very best players get even better, and it makes the game more accessible for new players. It literally raised the bar for everyone.
So, what this all boils down to is this. We have to focus on developing the skills that AI can enhance, not just replace. Things like creative problem framing, ethical judgment, and deep, empathetic collaboration.
So, as we all try to navigate this wild new era, maybe the most important question isn't about the machine's intelligence. Maybe it's about how that intelligence can be used to augment and elevate our own.